I asked readers last week for their take on what's wrong with this team after the last couple of games. A recurring theme was maybe they're over the hill. Too many old guys. How do you respond?
You know, I think some players are older than they were last year by a few months.
Most probably are
And
older
we got some new guys. But old and too old are two very different things. You know, we got a lot of experience and we have to draw upon that to play better football.
How do you know where that line is, old and too old?
Well, the type of guys we have, I think it's pretty easy to tell that they have that character, they have the intangibles that allow them to work, harder and longer than most people on earth. So.
And I guess the film tells the tale, right? Ultimately, performance.
There's a difference between can't and didn't.
Right.
So some plays, we didn't execute, right? But we're not seeing can't.
No. Fair enough.
Mike, we've seen what Jalen Smith can do on special teams, obviously, and a bit on defense. But if he has a larger role on defense, what would you expect out of him?
Yeah, growth. I think anytime you have a young guy who's getting more snaps, there's a whole bunch of things that come into play for them that they need to, figure out. And every snap probably gets a little better. And with every film session from a game or practice, they learn more, and it's accelerated. Once they're playing more snaps on defense, there's accelerated growth period. And we really liked him in the draft, and we really liked him last year, and he keeps on earning more time.
Willie was saying that last year he was voted the pros pro on the team, and Jalen was saying how he doesn't really have a position. He just says, I just play defense. Put me wherever, I just play defense. So can you just kind of touch on that, just what you kind of like about him and his demeanor, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of collective we've been looking for in building is guys that are versatile, guys that are very accepting of whatever role they're given, right? And he's just another one of those guys. He's got a ton of versatility, and it's always our job to figure out exactly where to put him so he can be the most successful for our club.